The regular meeting of the Poway Unified School Board. It is February 13th, 2020, and it is 6:05. Notice to all those in attendance, a recording and broadcast is being made at the direction of the board, and that recording and broadcast may capture images and sounds of those attending the meeting. So welcome, and with that, I invite you to stand for the pledge. Thank you. Next up is our report out of closed session, and with our clerk Zane out of action tonight, substitute clerk Couvret.
Fantastic. So this is a report out of closed session for February 13th. Closed session began at 4:05. The Board of Education took the following action in closed session. Regarding 2.1-A, there was no reportable action. 2.1-B, in the matter of pending existing litigation, case number 20191100272, on a motion by Couvret and a second by Patel, the board voted to approve the final settlement. The vote of the board was as follows: ayes, O'Connor, Radcliffe, Couvret, Patel. There were no noes, and absent was Beatty and Zane. 2.1-C, in the matter of pending existing litigation, case number 19CV0689-JM-MSB. On a motion by Patel and a second by Couvret, the board voted to authorize the district's legal counsel in this matter to implement Rule 68 in the attempts to settle this case for what the district's legal counsel is recommending. The vote of the board was as follows: ayes was O'Connor, Radcliffe, Couvret, Beatty, Patel. There were no noes, and absent was Zane. For items 2.3-A through L, there's no reportable action from closed session. The board will take action in open agenda items 8.1 and 8.2. Regarding 2.4-A, there was no reportable action. 2.4-B, no reportable action. 2.5-A, no reportable action. And 2.6, no reportable action. There was no other reportable action taken during closed session. Closed session adjourned at 5:55.
Thank you, Ms. Couvret. Item 3.3, members in attendance. We've got everybody down the line except for Mr. Zane. And for 3.4, welcome to the public, Ms. Akins.
Welcome to the monthly meeting of the Board of Education. If you would like to address the board on any agenda item, please complete a speaker slip. All requests to speak must be submitted to the clerk of the board before the agenda item comes up. If you are requesting an agenda item be pulled for public discussion from Section 5.0 Consent Calendar, a speaker slip must be submitted to the clerk now, as approval of the consent calendar is one of the first items up for approval. Item 4.2 is placed on our agenda to enable members of our community to bring items that are not placed anywhere else on the agenda to the board's attention. Speaking time is limited to 3 minutes per speaker with a maximum of 15 minutes per topic unless waived by the board president. There will be a 30-second yellow warning light when time is running out. Speakers may only speak on one topic under item 4.2 and may not defer their speaking time to another individual. If there are concerns regarding specific individuals, it is preferred that the speaker refrain from naming them publicly to respect their privacy. The board will accept and review any written materials that would provide more specific information. The Brown Act does not permit board action or extended discussion of any item not on the agenda, but your concerns will be referred to staff. With that said, welcome and thank you for coming.
All right, and thank you. That brings us to 3.5, our approval of the agenda sequence. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
On a motion by Dr. Patel, second by Ms. Beatty. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, that passes 4-0. Takes us to 4.1, our student board representatives. Let's go in reverse order. Creekside Elementary School, Ethan Chen, come on down. Welcome.
Can I use that? My name is Ethan. I am a member of the Student Council at Creekside Elementary. I volunteered to write and present this report because I am proud of my school and want to share some of the happenings at Creekside. This year, we begin a program called Sanford Harmony, which is to build students' social-emotional learning skills. Our goal is to increase empathy on our campus. Part of Sanford Harmony includes a buddy-up system in the classroom where we change working buddies and seating charts every week. The program blends well with our daily mindful moment. We had a lot going on during the month of January. Our annual school fundraiser fun run is called the Gecko Run. This year, my class raised $3,807, and the school collectively raised $45,876, which is about $10,000 more than last year. All the teachers and students worked very hard to make this fundraising event a success, and we all got some exercise. The fastest student ran 3 miles in just 20 minutes. My school really believes in building student leaders. It starts with our big buddy, little buddy classrooms. They planned monthly activities together, and during the Gecko Run, they wore matching colors and cheered each other on to run further. Many 4th and 5th graders like me volunteered to help younger students with math and reading through PALS, peer-assisted learning tutorials, before and after school. We have other student-led programs like Student Council, Rubik's Cube Club, and Peace Patrol, where older students help younger students with disputes during the lunch period. We are also part of our Gecko News Network, which is a student-run broadcast journalism program that got started about 6 years ago with help from Poway High School. On January 23rd, we are our annual school-wide science fair. Students from all grades presented their science projects in areas of chemistry, physics, robotics, biology, engineering, and design. In total, there were 80 projects. At the expo, many high schools, like Team Spider from Poway High and Catalyst for Success from Westview, had great hands-on experiments for the students. We also had Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday off in honor of the civil rights leader. In school, our teachers talked about the stories and teachings of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. during that week and taught us how he improved civil rights for some people, not just in America, but around the world. Another thing we did in January was the Great Kindness Challenge. Our school and 20,000 other schools worldwide joined together to challenge ourselves to do as many kinds of kind acts as we can in 1 week. Students were given a checklist of 50 examples of kind acts with things such as smile at 25 people, help a younger student, or bring a flower to the office staff. These kind acts made our world better for that week, and our goal is to continue that initiative. These are just a few of the events and activities that happened at Creekside Elementary in the month of January. Thank you for the opportunity to present this report to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chen. Wonderful things happening at Creekside. Thank you so much for letting us know about them. All right, next up from Mount Carmel High School, Sage Brandt. Welcome.
Good evening, Poway Unified Board and Cabinet members. My name is Sage Brandt, and I am very pleased to inform you of all the amazing things going on at Mount Carmel. Our musical West Side Story shows March 5th through 7th and 12th through 14th at the Theater at the Mount at 7 p.m. Also, many of our staff members will be in this Romeo and Juliet inspired production. Our choir, bel canto, and classical ensemble will be performing a Valentine's Day concert tonight, February 13th, named I Choose Love, in our Performing Arts Center. With Valentine's Day coming up, we have been selling flower grams last week and this week. In recognition of Black History Month, we have student-created posters for every teacher to display, a library display, reading list, and a social media push. Also, after taking the CIF title in 2016-2017, the Red Sea is again for the 5th time competing for the Battle of the Fans CIF competition for the most spirited and positive student cheering section. On January 6th, we had our annual Winter Pep Rally, which was We-themed, and on January 25th, we had our Blacklight Winter Informal Dance. Our winter sports teams are doing very well. Girls varsity soccer, boys and girls varsity basketball, and varsity wrestling will be going to CIF this year. CIF playoffs start this weekend and next week. It is a bustling time of year here, and I am grateful that I got to fill you in on all things going on at Mount Carmel. Thank you for listening, and always remember it's great to be a Sun Devil.
Thank you. And from Del Norte High School, we've got a tag team, Alexis Long and Jose Torres. Come on down.
Oh, sorry. All right. Good evening, board members and audience. Today, Jose is going to be accompanying me. He's just kind of going to be observing what I'm doing because I'm passing the torch over. If we haven't met yet, my name is Alexis Long, and I've been serving as ASB president over at Del Norte. I'm so excited to pass my role on to Jose starting next trimester, and I look forward to watching him grow and impact the school in all ways possible. It's been an amazing opportunity being able to present to you this past year, and I can't believe how fast it's coming to an end for me. I'd like to tell you how Del Norte has been continually working towards being college-ready, future-focused, and globally aware. College-ready. As the trimester begins to wrap up, our students are anxious to decide what courses and electives they might get involved in over the next school year. The school has provided an elective and course fair, so these students may get a glimpse into what the classes they want to take. Seniors are starting to hear back from colleges, and we await for the excitement for when each senior knows where they plan on expanding their school career. Finals week is also coming around, and many are continuing to work hard for the grades they desire. Future focused. Last week, our freshman class presidents worked together to throw a week-long dodgeball tournament. They planned for months and got experience in leadership by organizing an event that unified the entire school and raised money for the freshman class. After the winning team was determined, they played against a team of teachers, and that may have been the highlight of the entire week. That same week, a club on campus called Team Touchdown worked together to raise money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society after one of our football players recovered from a hard battle with cancer. In addition, multiple clubs have been out at lunch encouraging students to pre-register to vote and have emphasized the impact each person can have on the country. Globally aware. Del Norte's Safe Promise Club concluded their See Something, Say Something campaign and invited a sense of awareness onto the campus. In addition to this, ASB's Humanitarian Committee put all of their effort into creating an effective No Place for Hate Week, and it was very successful in its impact. During the No Place for Hate Week, cultural clubs were contacted and entered into a culture rush during lunch, where each club displayed the unique things about their culture and invited awareness of diversity on campus. We also invited a youth speaker onto our campus to discuss her grandfather's experience in the Holocaust. Del Norte plans to continue this globally aware mentality through its upcoming $1 for Life fundraiser, in which the entire school raises money to aid underdeveloped countries. This money can build schools, libraries, and so much more, and we hope to encourage our students to contribute to the growth of the world. Lastly, I would love to recognize the hard work of our theater group that they put into showcasing of the play Mamma Mia over the past month, and I'm excited to say that Del Norte is one of the first high schools in Poway Unified to produce it. It turned out amazing. As I conclude, I would like to thank the board once more for this opportunity. It's been so exciting to be a part of something like this. It's great to be distinctively Del Norte. Thank you.
And from Abraxas High School, Jeremiah Convery. Did I get that? No? Oh, shoot. Well, welcome.
Hello, and thank you for allowing me to present to the board. My name is Jeremiah Convery. We have two programs at Abraxas High School, the Diploma Program and the Transition Program. I'm a student in the Transition Program. The Transition Program is for young adults 18 to 22 who learn important life skills at Abraxas and in the community. The Transition Program hosted a parent information vendor fair here at the district office. Over 20 vendors participated, and parents were able to get information about services in our area for young adults with special needs. The transition students have almost completed the work on the transition library, and it will be officially open for student use on March 9th. The coffee cart business continues to make and serve coffee, tea, and hot chocolate to teachers and staff at Abraxas. Students in the Leadership Club are volunteering with the seniors at Brookview Senior Center and the kindergarten students at Pomerado Elementary. The students in the club will also work at the food bank tomorrow on Valentine's Day. The winter harvest has been bountiful in the garden, and we have donated over 400 pounds of broccoli and cauliflower to families in PUSD. The Rancho Bernardo Rotary donated 3 more fruit trees to the orchard, giving us a total of 25 fruit trees growing outside the garden. Abraxas will showcase student work from its visual and performing arts classes in an evening with the arts on March 16th. Thank you for your time.
All right, so before we start our public comments, I'd like to invite our students from Adobe Bluffs to do their Lunar New Year performance. I guess it is part of our public comments. Ms. Laska, welcome.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Charlotte Laska. I am in 5th grade in Adobe Bluffs Elementary School. There are a lot of great things about our school. Our school has great teachers. Teachers work together across different grade levels to ensure that all students are taken care of consistently. Our school has many signature events such as Ability Awareness Day, Lunar New Year celebration, silent auction, authors fair, arts attack, just to name a few. Adobe Bluffs students take leadership in our school. Students are voted to serve the student council, and many 5th grade students form the safety patrol team. We also have a variety of after-school programs such as Mandarin Club, Crochet Club, Lego League, Odyssey the Mind, Math Olympia, Science Field Day, and more. Our school launched Mandarin Chinese as foreign language 4 years ago and a bilingual Mandarin immersion program 2 years ago. Today, our Kinder Immersion students and Mandarin Club students will present the songs we learned. Please enjoy.
学会。宝贝，星星为你指路。哦。宝贝，月亮为你祝福。哦。成长是快乐的旅途，勇敢迈开你的脚步。宝贝，妈妈怀你而睡。妈妈。宝贝，爸爸是你一辈。爸爸。你是我们的心肝宝贝，爸爸妈妈的爱永相随。两只老虎爱跳舞，小兔子乖乖拔萝卜，我和小鸭子学走路，童年是最美的礼物。小螺号呀滴滴滴吹，我学海鸥展翅飞，不怕风雨不怕累，快快把本领都学会。宝贝，星星为你指路。哦。宝贝，月亮为你祝福。哦。成长是快乐的旅途，勇敢迈开你的脚步。宝贝，妈妈怀你而睡。妈妈。宝贝，爸爸是你一辈。爸爸。你是我们的心肝宝贝，爸爸妈妈的爱永相随。 成长是快乐的旅途，勇敢迈开你的脚步。宝贝，妈妈怀你安睡。妈妈，宝贝，爸爸是你背。爸爸，你是我们的心肝宝贝，爸爸妈妈的爱永相随。你是我们的心肝宝贝，爸妈的爱永相随。
I love that song. I've never heard it in Mandarin, though. Thank you, guys. Wow, at this point, I'm sure there are some people who want to join their children on their way home. Now would be a great time, and for our students, too, if you'd like to get to your homework or other things you have going tonight. We're going to continue on with our public comment as soon as we give them a minute.
Could Janet Latang please come up?
Okay, sorry if it's noisy, I have to raise this. Okay. Good evening, Superintendent Kim Phelps, Superintendent's Council, and Trustees. Tonight, I am here representing the PCPA 30th Anniversary Steering Committee. Event co-chair Kate Hirsch and I would like to update you on this upcoming celebration. On May 18th, 2020, to mark the 30th anniversary of the Poway Center for the Performing Arts, a celebration is planned featuring performing artists and groups whose lives have been impacted through their past and present performances at the PCPA. Our steering committee is composed of Poway arts advocates, arts managers, and artistic directors who are volunteering their time and expertise to plan the celebratory event. We also have an advisory committee who are giving us advice so that this celebration is inclusive of our community and honors the past and present of the PCPA. Jan Manos, who was the PHS drama teacher from 1973 to 1990, and who the stage is named after, will be in attendance, and she's been filling us in with all sorts of lovely history. Kate and I actually got to have lunch with her. It was just beautiful. So it's been fun catching up with some of the older people with the history behind the PCPA. We greatly appreciate these 18 volunteers who have committed to making this celebration a success for our community. We're excited to let you know that we have an almost full program for the evening, including performances from 3 Poway High School alumni, Jackie Foster, who was a voice contestant, professional opera singer Anthony Whitson Martini, and Julie Rogelstad, who was a student of Jan Manos and one of the original performers on the stage 30 years ago. We also have the following community groups performing: the Poway Symphony, Southern California Ballet, Met 2, the Poway Community Choir, Step by Step Dance, and the Miss Poway Pageant Court, and performances from Poway High School's Deleters Choir, Jazz Band A, and the Titan Theater presenting A Song from the Music Man. This family-friendly celebration is an extraordinary opportunity for the Poway community to see many performing arts genres all in one show, including solo pop, solo opera, classical orchestra, choral, musical theater, jazz music, ballet, and jazz dance, all performed by some of our finest local performing artists. The 30th Anniversary Steering Committee will have 100% of the profits from the PCPA 30th anniversary go toward the future of the PCPA. Details can be found on our website, pcpa30thcelebration.com, and tickets go on sale this month, February 24th, right after break. Tickets are mostly $30 with discount tickets at $20 in the highest section of the mezzanine. $30, 30 years, it seemed like a good way to go. Finally, I'd like to say thanks to the community for sharing your voice on the LCAP through Thought Exchange. And from what I've observed, the VAP and performing arts continue to be important to the POSD community. And I'd like to say thank you for that. And thank you all for the support of the arts.
Can Terra Nova, please come up?
Just waiting till everybody gets a handout. Good evening. How are you? Thank you for having me back. I'm so excited to be representing the Palomar Council PTA tonight, so I have that hat on. I'm also a wife and a mother of 2 beautiful children here in Poway Unified, but tonight I'm your Vice President of Legislative Advocacy, and I'm here to tell you about our most recent event that's upcoming. I'm super excited. It's sponsored by our 9th District PTA, who gave us a grant, and they are sponsoring this event that you're looking at the flyer. It is for a documentary that you cannot get on the internet independently. It is not available online anywhere else, and it is only up for sale through independent events like the one that we are going to be holding that is sponsored by the 9th District, and the one like this that Palomar Council has taken time and effort to commission a project by the name of Project Unified that is here within our very city walls, that is growing and becoming stronger by the moment, and it's a movement. We're very excited about it, and so I cannot wait to tell you more, but this flyer says it all. On March 26th, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., we're going to have a 46-minute movie, and then a brief break. We'll have a little bit of snacks and things like that, so we'll make it comfortable for everybody at Morning Creek Elementary. All students are welcome, so everybody is welcome. That includes parents, students, and another thing I'd like to point out is it specifically is a documentary about the impact of social media on our lives. Whether you use it or you don't, every single person in this room has a cell phone, period. So that is a fact. I highly doubt there is anyone here. Does anyone not have a phone? I rest my case. So we're here to talk about that. And I come from a teaching background, so that's just where we're starting the conversation. It's just going to be very neutral and open, and then we're going to have other community leaders that are going to be there. We're going to have local news coverage, so we're just going to blow it up and just have as much fun as possible. And we're really excited about it because this is the way that people are connecting and sharing and continuing on to have a conversation that's healthy and not isolating, and is going to combat teenage depression and loneliness and the way that we are feeling isolated and alone and by ourselves. So to see what's happening and what's new, please scan the code here, take a look at our website, check your inbox or your feed, because we're going to be blasting it out everywhere. Thank you for having me, and I hope to see you there. Okay.
Catherine Hirsch.
Good evening, Superintendent Kim Phelps, Superintendent's Council, and trustees. I'm here to speak about my general experience with Poway Unified School District, the Poway Center for the Performing Arts, and to deliver a recent survey of the community user groups who rent the PCPA. My name is Kate Hirsch, and I have been a Poway resident since 2012. I have 4 children. My eldest daughter graduated from Poway High in 2014, and thanks to the phenomenal education and arts programs, she found her future path, and today she is working as a front-end software designer for a company that builds medical research equipment in Reno. My son Cameron graduated in 2017 and was awarded athlete with the highest GPA, and is fighting his way toward a degree at UC Berkeley. My son Alexander just finished the Music Man run, playing trombone in the pit. He plays baritone in the wind ensemble, is in the orchestra, marched all 4 years, and as well as being on varsity cross country and track and field. My youngest, Sarah, is in grade 8 exploring technology, mentoring, and tutoring. Having lived in 4 major cities in Canada and the US, I can say with conviction that Poway Unified School District is extraordinary. Children have access to the most outstanding education combined with exposure to the arts, an important element in school curriculum for reasons that we as educators understand and value. My story is the story of thousands of families in PUSD. Congratulations to the trustees and Mary Kim Phelps. The recent changes have been exceptional, from refinancing bonds, expanding access to STEAM, the mindful moment, more attention to mental health, and the list goes on. Most important, taking on the matter of the dilapidated infrastructure with Prop P and relentlessly communicating the need in a clear and thorough manner. I do hope it will gain approval on March 3rd. PUSD standards are so high that the district is in a position to consider purchasing the City of Poway's professionally run and equipped performing arts center built on school land. This is not something PUSD necessarily thought, but rather the City of Poway wants to cut their losses, and PUSD is the only potential buyer. I need to focus on the word losses, because if the school district acquires the building, this will not be an investment that will generate income, nor will it substantially benefit your performing arts programs. PUSD will be taking on operational costs, organizational management, and millions in capital improvement needs forever. It is disheartening that the city no longer wants to financially support the cultural arts, because the entire civic budget lies in the operation and maintenance of the PCPA. The over $100,000 subsidy and free rent to Poway on Stage and smaller subsidies to community renters who pay an average of 75% cost recovery. The city does have options to spend less, and the community is willing to help close the gap. It does not need to be PUSD's burden. When the city announced the workshop and proposed solutions for change, there was an unprecedented turnout of attendees and speakers. More meetings occurred, and Poway City Council members suggested that community user groups consider self-organize and pose specific questions so they could better understand how the renters use the facility. Janet and I organized a survey, which you have in front of you tonight. In that survey, Dave Grosh asked who wants the city to Poway to retain the PCPA, and the vote was 100% all hands raised.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's time. Oh, and that concludes our public comment. Thank you very much, everyone. This moves us to item 4.3, which is approval of Poway Unified School District Long Range Facilities Master Plan 2020. Mr. Little.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. This evening, staff is pleased to present the draft of the district's Long Range Facilities Master Plan for the board's consideration. A robust document of over 500 pages, 18 months in the making. I promise we're not going to go through every page tonight, although we could. The plan identifies nearly $1.4 billion of capital needs across our 39 schools and our support sites. I'd like to acknowledge the outstanding work of our Director of Facilities and Maintenance, Chad Koster, and of our Assistant Director of Planning, Ms. Alschbach, I think in the back, in this endeavor, as well as our planning partners, PBK, who are here tonight. Staff ultimately seeks approval from the board this evening on the plan. So this time I'll turn it over to Director Koster, who will introduce the presentation team.
Okay, very well. Thank you very much. Members of the board, Dr. Phelps and Cabinet. It's been a long journey, but we're very, very...
Please use the mic.
Oh, sorry.
We are recording.
How about this? Can you catch me from here? We're all squeezing in here together. Hey, it's been a long journey, but we are very pleased to finally be at this point to present to you our facility long-range master plan for Poway Unified. I believe you've all had the opportunity to have a hard copy in front of you, so that's the full meal deal as we go. But I wanted to thank everybody. It's a lot of work. There's been hundreds and hundreds of meetings where we've engaged site principals, teachers, students, parents, community members, and staff as well. So it's a lot of work that's compiled to this, and it really will guide our future as we move forward in making our facility decisions. With that, I will turn it over to the PBK team and let them give you an overview of our process and our document.
The timing is perfect for the mic. Thank you very much, Chad. On behalf of PBK, we'd like to thank you for being here today. We'd like to thank Madam President, members of the board, members of the cabinet, members of the public. We're very excited about the presentation this evening, and if you have any questions, we'd like to take those at the end. We're only going to go through 250 pages. No, just kidding. We put together a fairly simple agenda to give you an idea of what the master plan covers, the primary components, which includes the mission, vision, facilities master plan contents, the methodology and process that we use to go about this master plan, the schedule that we put together, project categories. An example, we took one of the schools and pulled it out and wanted to show you an example of what the end result looked like, and then wanted to give you a total quantified need of all of the components of this master plan. Everything starts with the mission and the vision, and the district has a very clear and concise mission and vision that basically allowed us to create a filter of everything that we went through to make sure that they follow the mission statement and the vision statement. And just to repeat, the mission statement is inspiring passion and preparing every student to thrive in college, career, and life by providing personalized, rich, and rigorous learning experiences. Such a great mission statement that helped drive this master plan. Vision statement equally as well, creating culture and conditions to empower world-class learners. We're very excited about all the work that had gone into this and all the people that really helped to generate this. As far as the contents of the book itself, we've got the executive summary, background of the district, enrollment, capacity, and utilization. We took a look at education specifications, and what those are is the idea of how we're going to deliver curriculum into the future. Basically, it's a plan that drives the facilities as projects move forward. We then looked at the needs assessment and master plans for each of the individual sites, utilizing the Amoresco study that had previously been prepared in terms of the items and the cost associated with that. We've got together a financial summary in here, implementation plans, and at the end we've got the appendix. And all of those make 500 plus pages of just incredible reading that is a lot of fun.
So looking at the methodology and the process that we undertook to accomplish this, at a high level, it was collecting the information from the district that was already completed by the district. As Chad mentioned, a lot of site meetings, meetings with the departments, different the district, gathering all that information, processing and analyzing, ultimately to come up with ideas and suggestions and recommendations that are in this plan. At the root of completing this master plan is collaboration. There was lots of meetings, which was good. We got to collect that information. We need to process it. Looking at the education, the vision, and the goals. Looking at the conditions of the facilities. At the report that was completed by Amoresco. The demographic review, and then looking at the financial analysis, and looking at what funding could be available in the future. Putting that all together, working with the district to identify some project categories and some priorities that Kristen will talk about in a second, but coming up with the recommendation, basically the plan really, and then bringing it here for you guys to present tonight. Again, all the meetings, these are just some of the groups that we met with that provided input, that collaboration, listening to them. The guidepost, safety and security report, Amoresco, the facilities condition, the Community Facilities Committee, all the different meetings at the school sites with principal, parents, teachers, and students as well. Obviously meetings with the Board of Education, district leadership team, and then all the different departments as well within the school district to listen and gather that their concerns and needs for the future. So as I mentioned earlier, a lot of meetings. This is just a snapshot of some of the meetings with the different departments of how many there were. In excess of 200 meetings to gather and process all this information. High level look at the schedule. These are just all the major milestones. The red is the district leadership team meetings. The orange is the CFC, Community Facilities Committee. The green is the board. And now we finally reached the last green box on the right, which is the presentation tonight. And then the bottom, the two are the school meetings, and then the process of putting the document together, which is in the purple boxes.
So with that, all of that input from all of those various stakeholder groups, we were able to identify specific project groupings, and those groupings align with the bond projects that you guys developed as well. So safety and security addresses site access control, communications, and fire life safety systems. Modernization projects include capital improvement infrastructure projects, and those are based or informed by the Amoresco 2019 assessment. We did identify modernization at 3 levels: minor modernization, moderate modernization, and major modernization. Growth and capacity projects are in relation to enrollment changes at your sites, as well as utilization needs at each of the sites. We did develop a protocol for addressing a sustained enrollment growth, which will be handled with permanent construction, and fluctuations over time in enrollment will be handled with portable construction. Energy efficient and sustainable systems refer to high efficiency mechanical systems, lighting, water usage, and solar, among others. Prioritization. We started with the stakeholder groups
in identifying which projects were most important to them. And we looked at input from the site's community, facility staff, the district leadership team, and the Board of Education. And that was informed by detailed assessment of the asset conditions, system life cycles, and site-specific needs. And so priority 1 includes safety and security needs and upgrades, and in particular, protection of assets. And so those are things like roof systems or building envelopes. If you're doing modernizations to your buildings, first thing you want to do is make sure that you don't have rain that comes in and leaks on those pretty new classrooms. So that's top priority. And then from there, moving into capacity needs and needs to support student learning, and then further identified by site-specific needs. And within the master plan, we have identified those priorities and also identified a general guideline for associated timeframes for those priorities. And that's a starting place for how those projects will be implemented in the future.
So for this presentation, we randomly picked a school. We went with Twin Peaks Middle School just to kind of include and show you some pages of what's included in the report. You could see here, there's just narrative describing the school, the different programs that are offered at Twin Peaks Middle School. On the left, these 2 pages are the same. On the left is really just a summary of the assets, the ages of the buildings, how many buildings there are obviously, size and age of those buildings. On the right, you could see the colored site plan there, which is, those colors are based off the Amoresco report of the condition of the buildings. Yellow is a minor modernization that's needed, orange is a moderate, and red, which this school doesn't have any, is a major modernization that's needed. We took those, we vetted them with the district to make sure, because since the report was completed, projects have occurred here and there, so some of the buildings did change color just to keep things up to date. So it's a living document, so those will continuously be changing as projects occur. So we took that information and again, with coming up with ideas and solutions to address these issues, again, those 2 were the same pages. We came up with a list of projects, which is on the right there. You could see basically based on priority. On the left is just again, a graphical representation. Those are not the priority projects. They're just random projects just to give you a visual representation. At the admin, it talks about safety and security improvements. On the bottom, those are modular buildings there that need repairs on the inside. They need modernization work. Recently, they had roofs replaced, so the roofs are in good shape, but they just need some work inside. There's a vertical, you can see a vertical row there of portables that are in pretty bad shape, so those we're recommending as part of this plan to remove those. And on the left, you could see a blue box there. We're recommending basically replacing with permanent construction there, getting rid of those old portables.
One thing we do take great pride in is that we didn't come into this process with a preconceived idea to tell you what your master plan is going to be. The countless hours that the representative from your district put into this process is just incredible. This is truly a plan of the district for the district that will benefit the children of the district. So we're very excited about all the input we've received through all the various meetings. Just wanted to give you an idea of how the costs for these projects break down. There are a lot of different terms out there in terms of construction costs, hard costs, soft costs, and what does it all mean. This is a little breakdown here to give an idea. The top in the orange is what we refer to as the soft costs. Those are things like topographical surveys of the site, division of the state architect plan review fees, architecture and engineering fees, furniture, fixtures, and equipment. It's basically the idea if you take the building, flip it upside down, and whatever falls out, that represents part of the soft costs. Also includes inspection fees and any project contingencies. Those are typically in the range of 25 to 30% of the value of a given project. And then down below in the green and the blue, those represent the direct construction cost for an individual project. So people might ask, how much is this building going to cost? It really depends on who you ask that question to. You ask an architect, we'll tell you the construction cost. But as the district, you need to be aware of what the total magnitude, the total project cost for any given particular project. And as we went through the process, we identified individual costs for construction and marked it up accordingly. This shows an idea of how each of the projects broke down into the 5 separate categories: safety and security, building function and systems modernization, growth and changing programmatic needs, future-focused learning environments, and energy-efficient and sustainable systems. So the construction costs for each of those items represents what the actual you would pay for a contractor to do. The project cost would be all the additional costs for the surveys, fees, division of state architect, all those additional components, for a total comprehensive number of just under $1.4 billion. Pretty substantial. Not uncalled for in facilities of this age and this condition. Pretty typical for what we're seeing statewide. Would say that your overall, your facilities are in great shape. You've got a great team who's been taking care of your projects or your campuses over the years. They've done some incredible stuff. Would like to especially thank Associate Superintendent Mr. Little, Chad, as well as Rhea for all the incredible work they put into this process here. This book could not have been possible without their contribution, as well as the district leadership team led by Dr. Phelps, and which include members of the cabinet. We'd like to say thank you for all of your input into this. This is truly your document, and we feel privileged to be a part of it. With that, we conclude our presentation.
We do have one member of the public who would like to make a comment, and I'm not sure how we should call her up. It's probably a question for you guys in part, so maybe you can hand her the microphone.
Okay. Janet, thanks for coming up.
Thank you. Great. This was a great presentation and an amazing amount of work, so thank you very much. I'm all about the PCPA right now. Sorry about that. I just wanted to ask a quick question, and I lost my page on here. But it has listed on here for under Poway High School list of assets. PCPA is listed as an asset for the PUSD. And just there's a lot of confusion right now with the PCPA. I just want to make sure that I wanted to bring that up, that PUSD owns the land, but not the building at this time. So that's my comment. And I know there's 540 pages, and that's one little detail, but that's kind of where my head's right now. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so at this point, we'll take any questions from the board.
I have a few comments. So I think it's so important that you guys did this. How do we know where we're going if we don't know where we are? So I appreciate all the time that you took. I was lucky enough to attend a lot of your different meetings at Painted Rock and Highland Ranch, and you guys were very thorough, and you guys were very open-ended, allowing the people to kind of go where they needed to go, which I thought was really wonderful. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time to do that. Also, I was at Twin Peaks this morning, which is very, very perfect that you had it listed here. And they're all like, oh, you want to know exactly what's coming our way. So it's nice that we can have this for them to refer to so they know what is coming their way, which will help them in their decision on the bond. So I appreciate you providing that information, those specifics for them. And then finally, I did read it. And I have to say, it was really cool the way you really found the character of each school. When I read about Chaparral, it felt like Chaparral. When I read about Sundance, it felt like Sundance. And I just really commend you guys for taking the time to really feel the culture of each school and what makes each school special. So thank you.
Other comments? Dr. Patel?
It was very nice to see it come together. I know we've been working on it for a long time, being on the district leadership team, watching it from its very inception, participating at the site level. It was very nice to see it all come together, and I appreciate the collaboration between our district staff, everyone on the team, as well as PBK to get this put together. You made a comment towards the end of your presentation that you see districts doing this up and down the state. So I guess my comment/question is, this is a typical thing that all districts are doing in anticipation of bonds. This is the standard way. I guess is this the standard way all districts are doing this? There seems to be some confusion out in the public that we should be managing our facilities through our general fund. And it seems like with a price tag of greater than $1 billion, that's kind of hard to manage through our current general fund.
Absolutely. So what we're seeing up and down the state is there are various levels of components within a master plan. We don't believe that the components within this master plan were more than robust. We think they were very adequate. The new state bond, assuming it passes on March 3rd, Proposition 13, talks about in the new program, each district having to have a master plan. We're assuming that's probably going to be a compressed master plan. Nobody knows exactly what that means at this point. But in terms of the level of details shown in this master plan, we've seen some that are much more, and we've seen some that are much less. But this one has a very adequate amount of information in it.
But I guess to clarify, this is something that's that is anticipated for all based typical of all school districts up and down the state.
Who will be applying for state funding, correct?
Okay, thank you.
I wanted to make a comment that I did see the first draft and this draft and read both of them all the way through. The improvement from the first draft to this draft is unbelievable. So thank you to everyone who worked on that and made that happen, because the information was there, but the consistency of terms and the way we're talking about categories and how user-friendly it is. Believe it or not, everyone, this is user-friendly. You can read, the summaries are great, it explains everything very well, and the vast majority of that is site-based information. So if you're only interested in one site, there are really not 500 pages you have to read. I would encourage people to look at it. It really is very user-friendly. So I really appreciated that. My question is, you said at one point that this is a living document. I know we have a finite contract with PBK on this one. Who's going to keep our living document updated?
So I'll take the mic. So part of it will rest with our facilities team, right? As we complete projects and we work our way through, there would be, some update, every 5 years or so that kind of get a refresh. It wouldn't take the level of work that we took to get to where we are now, but we'll keep the project lists and track what's been done and what's not left. We're able to do it both within this document and within our asset planner program as well. So.
I also wanted to circle back to a comment Trustee Covert made. We really need to thank the principals for opening up their schools to our team numerous times, to hosting the meetings with the community, with their teachers, with their staff. Those flavors of each school that you read were their narratives that they took the time to write and rewrite. They reviewed the project lists more than once to make sure that we didn't miss anything, and if we did, they let us know, which was appreciated. So they deserve a lot of the credit for this work as well, as certainly at the site level. So we appreciate their support in this as well.
So with that, a comment, if things come up along the way, they will get added. Is that correct?
Absolutely. That's what's nice about this kind of plan is it is dynamic, and we will be updating it at least annually. So as things come up, to Chad's point, as we make improvements, then we, check them off and note that comment in the plan.
Thank you.
I'm going to urge us not to print out a whole bunch of copies of that every time.
So we have the electronic.
If I could possibly add to that as well, is we are providing the electronic version of our database, which allows the district to run any kind of report necessary. So say you want to look at safety and security projects, click a button and all those projects will be listed. And then the district has the ability to modify that accordingly.
And one more comment, and it's all accessible, so it is all on our website. I believe there's a facilities master plan webpage on the district's website. So it's such a robust document that we've broken it out by sections, and you can click on the section that interests you and take a look. And we welcome any continued feedback from the community as you have it.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions from board members? No? Ms. Beatty.
So it certainly is very comprehensive project list of all our hopes and dreams. And it was interesting. I'm glad that included in there for the schools of Morning Creek, Meadowbrook, and Mount Carmel, they had the post bond propositions, UNC projects. and that was funding from the Melrose community of Stonebridge Estates that doesn't have their own schools, and so we were able to do some upgrades with that funding. So the question I have is regard to the safety and security component. It's obviously it's necessary. It's of critical importance. The price tag is very high. I've been on for 8 years on the board. I came on 4 days before the Sandy Hook massacre. And so at least 2 or 3 times we allocated, millions of dollars in total to do some security upgrades. Clearly it wasn't enough. It was, a fraction of the costs that are being proposed here, but I'm wondering, it seems like we made efforts. They included, reversing the locks, changing the entry points, doing some secure perimeter fencing, the badges, et cetera. Just, probably the number one thing was just having, one ingress and egress. But I was just wondering if you could speak to that, because I'm surprised that it seems like cost-wise there's still an incredible amount to do when at least on 2 or 3 different occasions in the last 8 years since Sandy Hook, the board allocated a fair amount of funding towards security.
Yeah, so I think security is continuing to evolve, right? And a lot of that was led by the guidepost assessment that we had done. And so it's incorporating a lot of those recommendations that we had through guidepost. I think a lot of what you see is focused on perimeter security, and single point of entry is still a challenge at some of our schools. And in particular, you'll notice on most of our campuses, and probably almost all of them in the master plan, a note on the administrative areas. And so a lot of that is reorganizing and kind of redoing how we funnel and how we focus and how we manage traffic into the campus through the admin areas. So when you come in the front door, you don't have a direct access into the middle of the campus. And so there's some kind of ability to stop that. Now, again, there's a lot that goes into that, but that's where a significant portion of the money is. There's also dollars that are embedded in there for fencing and for perimeter security, as well as cameras at elementary schools if we decide to move that way, as one of the recommendations. So.
I would just add a big component to Chad's point of that work is the restructuring of the admin office at the elementary school level. So we specifically included a lot in this category because we knew it was going to be a priority one, and we wanted to make sure that all the schools got what they needed with respect to safety and security, particularly based on the guidepost recommendations. And that admin reconfiguration was sort of numero uno in terms of what we should do first.
Any other questions or comments? Because this is an action item. We need to vote whether to approve this plan. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
All right, on a motion by Dr. Patel, second by Ms. Couvrette. Any comments, discussion? All right, seeing none, we do get, oh, yes?
No.
I have a comment. I just want to thank you for all of your work. I feel like the way our campuses look and the needs that we have really demonstrates how important this project is. And people come to this district and this city for our schools. And I feel like it's about time our schools start looking the way our teachers do and how they work so hard. And I feel like this is a great project and big price tag, but hopefully we can make it happen. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Aikenson. With that, this is your student preferential vote.
Aye.
And everybody else, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, that is 5-0 with Mr. Zane absent.
Thank you.
Thank you all. All right, 5.1 is approval of the consent calendar. I'll go down the row and ask if anyone would like to pull anything from, oh, Dr. Patel, you're running off. Shall I assume that's a no? I don't know. We'll go to everybody else first. Ms. Aikens, would you like to pull anything? No. Dr. Patel, would you like to pull anything? Nope. All right. Ms. Beatty?
No.
And none for me. So is there a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented?
Motion to approve.
Second.
On a motion by Dr. Patel, second by Ms. Couvret. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That passes 4-0. Thank you. That moves us on to the 6.0s. 6.1 is ratification of the Poway School Employees Association Unit 1 and 2 3-year successor agreement 2019 through 2022 and revisions to salary schedules. Mr. Jimenez.
Thank you, President O'Connor-Ratcliffe. On January 16, 2020, the members of the Poway School Employees Association, as we refer to PSEA Unit 1 and 2, overwhelmingly voted in favor of ratifying the tentative agreement for a new 3-year successor agreement, with only 4 votes of no, all other votes voting in favor. The components of this new 3-year agreement include a wage increase that's aligned with the wage increases recently approved for our certificated employees, which includes a 0.5% increase effective July 1, 2018, 1% effective July 1, 2019, and 1.5% effective January 1, 2020, for a total cumulative raise of 3%. The successor contract also includes a one-time off-schedule payment of 1% for all contracted unit members, and additional changes in the contract language for health and welfare benefits include a decrease in the cash to warrant received by employees participating in the basic insurance package to not exceed $2,750 annually for both units. It also includes the cash to warrant for employees who opt out of coverage to be $3,500 annually. The salary schedules are presented in compliance with the CalPERS requirements, and the proper disclosure forms in accordance with the AB 1200 requirements are enclosed with a letter of acknowledgement from our San Diego Office of Education. The Board is asked to consider the approval of PSEA Unit 1 and Unit 2's successor agreement.
Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. Are there any questions? All right, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Right, on a motion by Dr. Patel and a second by Ms. Couvret. Any discussion before we vote? All right. Thank you for the hard work on this. This wasn't an easy one. Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That passes 4-0. Thank you for your work. Item 8.1, ratification of stipulated agreements for student expulsion. Ms. Osborne.
Thank you, Madam President. Tonight we bring forward 8 enforced expulsions for approval. Unfortunately, we saw a significant uptick in discipline incidents in December.
It was too much to hope for the good luck of 0 in January, I know. All right. We've had an opportunity to ask questions on these in closed session, and now it's time for action. So we need to do these one at a time. So is there a motion on case number 2019-2020.10?
Approve. Second.
On a motion by Ms. Beatty, second by Ms. Couvret. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That's 4-0. Motion on case number 2019-2020.11.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Beatty, second by Ms. Couvret. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 4-0. For case number 2019-2020-12.
Move to approve.
Second.
On a motion by Ms. Beatty, second by Ms. Couvret. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, that passes 4-0. Case number 2019-2020.13.
Move to approve.
A motion by Ms. Beatty, second by Ms. Couvret. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 4-0. Case number 2019-2020.14.
Move to approve.
On a motion by Ms. Beatty, second by Ms. Couvret. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That passes 4-0. Case number 2019-2020.15.
Move to approve.
On a motion by Ms. Beatty, second by Ms. Couvret. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That passes 4-0. Case number 2019-2020.16.
Move to approve.
Motion by Ms. Beatty, second by Ms. Couvret. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That passes 4-0. And finally, case number 2019-2020.17.
Move to approve.
On a motion by Ms. Beatty, second by Ms. Couvret. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No. Okay, so that's 4-0 as well. I think I speak for everyone when I say we hope we have another month next month where there are 0 coming in. Thank you. Takes us to 8.2, the happy news, readmission of students on expulsion. Ms. Osborne.
Thank you. Tonight, we are happy to bring forward 4 readmissions of students on expulsion. The students have met the conditions of their contracts to be eligible for readmission.
Okay, well, we've had an opportunity to ask about these as well, so we need to take each one on its own again. Okay, for case number 2018-2019.11.
Move to approve.
Second.
Oh, who wins? Who wins? Oh.
Sorry.
on a motion by Ms.
Thought I'd
Beatty,
give you a
second
break.
by Dr. Patel.
You got these.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, that passes 4-0. Oh, now we're fighting for it, now that it's the readmissions. I got us. Okay. Case number 2018-2019.17.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion by Ms. Beatty, second by Dr. Patel. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes 4-0. Case number 2018-2019.19.
Move to approve.
Second.
On a motion by Ms. Beatty, second by Dr. Patel. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes 4-0. And case number 2018-2019.27.
Motion to approve.
Oh.
Second.
On a motion by Dr. Patel, second by Ms. Beatty. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That passes 4-0. Thank you very much. Item 8.3, approval of college and career access pathways, a dual enrollment partnership agreement between Palomar Community College District and Poway Unified School District. Ms. Osborne.
Thank you, Madam President. During the January Board of Education meeting, we presented the College and Career Access Pathways, or CCAP agreement, as a first reading. Tonight, we are presenting it as an action item for board approval, and we'd also like to provide a brief update on next steps with a brief presentation by Executive Directors Kathleen Porter and Todd Casson.
Board members, Superintendent Phelps, the superintendent's cabinet members, and members in the audience. We appreciate the opportunity to address you again this evening. As you know, last month we brought forward the College and Career Access Pathways CCAP agreement for a first reading. Tonight we're bringing that agreement back for your approval. Also, at the January board meeting, Mr. Casson and I provided you with an overview of our middle college planning process to date. At that time, we anticipated bringing forward the affiliation and facilities use agreement for approval along with the CCAP agreement this month. However, it has taken longer than initially expected to finalize the affiliation and business agreement. Tonight, we'd like to provide you with a brief overview of changes at Palomar and provide a general update.
As we discussed last month, we've had a series of meetings between Poway and Palomar business leaders. Officially, there are 2 agreements that are required in aligning our middle college work: the College and Career Access Pathways Agreement and the Affiliation and Use of Facilities Agreement. While we are requesting that the board approve our CCAP agreement tonight, the Affiliation and Use of Facilities Agreement, which addresses the operational and cost-sharing elements of the partnership, is not ready to move forward at this time. Despite our best efforts, along with the changes in Palomar leadership, we have been unable to finalize this agreement.
The Palomar Community College District has experienced some pretty significant changes in cabinet level leadership. Just yesterday, it was announced that Dr. Blake, Palomar College president, has resigned. Since December, Dr. Jack Kahn has been acting as the president of the college. As you can see from the slide, currently all 5 of the cabinet level positions at Palomar are acting in their roles. Even though there have been significant changes in leadership, there is consistency in the Palomar board and several of the key leadership staff. For example, the Palomar board members have remained the same, and as planned, had the first reading of the CCAP agreement between Palomar and Poway on their board agenda on Tuesday of this week. The current acting president, Dr. Jack Kahn, and acting vice president of instruction, Shayla Sievert, as well as Dean Justin Smiley, are all veteran Palomar staff and have all participated in the development of our middle college concept. All remain committed to supporting our Palomar-Poway partnership. Where the CCAP agreement is a more high-level agreement for dual enrollment practices, as you can see, the elements of the affiliation and facilities use agreement would outline the more granular elements of a middle college partnership and structure. We will update you once we are able to discuss next steps with Palomar leaders and our Poway leadership team. So at this point, we're open to questions.
Does the timeline still look like fall 2020?
I'm
Okay.
getting very nervous.
Yeah. Okay, me too. Any questions down the line? Ms. Cabral?
I guess mine's more of a comment because you can't control what's out of your control, so that's frustrating. But I do hope that whoever the new leadership is over there, this is a foundation as we seek out the middle college, but also dual enrollment and articulated classes. So, like I said, this will be a start once we get the right folks over there to work with you guys. So, thank you.
Couldn't agree more.
Thank you.
Okay, when we get to the details, I'm sure that'll answer all the questions that have been churning in our minds. But for now, I hope the fact that it's a pilot might help them move forward with it too. We're only asking for a 3-year commitment, not lifetime. So,
right,
show that this can work. Yeah,
that's right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
For your work.
Thank
yeah,
you.
Fingers crossed that they get all of their actings into full-time roles. Yeah. All right. Thank you. All right. So no action on that then. Oh, there's still action on that. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Right. We don't get the whole thing, but we get part of it. Okay. Any questions on the CCAP or comments? No?
If we do enter into this agreement, is there a potential that with the new leadership at Palomar College that might get revisited, or is this a binding agreement?
It's a good question. I believe that if we needed to, because it's very focused on middle college, that if we reach mutual agreement, we could make adjustment and pivot to dual enrollment. So I believe that we could have those conversations.
So we're approving this in concept as it is, and it's a pretty broad overview at this time. And I still like it. I'm ready to move forward with it. Is there a motion then?
Motion to approve.
Okay, on a motion by Dr. Patel, a second by Ms. Couvret. Any further discussion? No? All right, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? I don't have this marked down as a preferential vote item. Should it be? Okay, let's have your preferential vote, Ms. Aiken. I have it. Aye. Oh, shoot, I didn't mark it down. I'm sorry, that's my fault. Thank you. That looks to me like it's a 5-0 vote then. Thank you. I apologize for that. This takes us to 12.1, quick agenda. I'm excited. Board member reports. Ms. Aikens.
Good evening. Since last time I sat at the dais, I have been busy promoting our Local Control Accountability Plan Survey, also known as the LCAP, to our high school students. Tomorrow is the last day to participate in the annual LCAP Thought Exchange Survey, so if your students want to share their opinion on a high school experience and start a conversation that can lead to change on campus, please motivate them to take the survey. I have also been advocating for Measure P, a bond measure that when passed, will drastically help improve some of our schools' infrastructures that have far surpassed proper learning environments. It's disappointing watching school spirit deteriorate the more and more a campus does. The connection between a proud, motivated student directly correlates with the student's sense of safety and pride in their campus. I was able to meet with Christine Peck since our last board meeting to help think of ways to promote Measure P, so keep an eye out for videos or students waving signs before or after school, and give them a honk or two in support. Black History Month is well on its course, and I'm proud to say that Mount Carmel and Rancho Bernardo High School have both been doing a great job celebrating the history and culture of African Americans on their campuses. It was great to see Miss Osborne stop by RBHS last Wednesday to see the lunchtime activity my Black Student Union at RBHS put on, where students were able to write down an African American who was an influence to them on a large banner in the small quad. We got lots of participants who loved the bubbles, posters, and music that were also showcased during our lunchtime activity. On Friday, February 28th, RB students and staff will be facing off in a semi-friendly game of dodgeball, hosted by the Black Student Union to conclude Black History Month. As a student board member, I felt as though I wasn't doing enough to reach our elementary school students in a positive way. Thus, I was able to connect with LSS Executive Directors Kimberly Renz and Doug Johnson to brainstorm a new, creative way to honor and celebrate the legacy and literature of Dr. Seuss for elementary school students in March. I'm excited to see how our plans with that unfold in upcoming weeks. I also attended another monthly SSAC meeting at the end of January, where Miss Carol Osborne was our special guest. During the meeting, the SSAC members were able to make a video to help promote the LCAP Thought Exchange survey and continue to plan PUSD's No Place for Hate conference, which will be held on March 11th at Rancho Bernardo High School from 8 to 11 a.m. for elementary and middle school students. I was also able to meet with Ms. Peck and a few other SSAC members earlier this week to do more planning for that event, so be sure to spread the word and stop by. In other news, I had my peer counseling winter retreat from January 31st to February 1st up in Ramona, where RBHS's peer counselors participated in team bonding activities and ate some great food. Many of our PUSD students were able to officially sign to play their sports at the collegiate level on Wednesday, February 5th. I'm glad PUSD had another great show out at this incredible sports event. Bernardo Heights Middle School's rendition of James and the Giant Peach was a smash hit, and I look forward to attending the 28th Annual Association of African American Educators Conference on March 7th to learn new ways to help our African American students in the classroom graduate and further their academic endeavors in college. Students of all ages look forward to a stress-free ski week next week, and I look forward to seeing my grandparents during my time out of school. And with that, I conclude my report. Thank you.
Should I go? Waiting for your blessing, Madam President. This past month certainly has been eventful, so for tonight's report, I'll keep the details brief and basically just run through my district-related activities, basically filling in for what TJ usually does, but a little bit better. I attended 2 different presentations on the governor's proposed budget, one from Capital Advisors and the other from the California Suburban School Districts. And I got, unfortunately, the same disappointing news. Despite the slight increases to educational spending, for us in Poway Unified, the outlook seems to be budget neutral because the COLA is essentially offset by the additional unfunded mandates. So it seems that our revenues are barely keeping up with our expenses through essentially no fault of our own. On the school side of things, I was able to attend several events, including Mesa Verde Middle School's Constitutional Challenge, Garden Road's Reading Garden Grand Opening Celebration, Adobe Bluff's Ability Awareness Day and Lunar Year Celebration, Westview High School's Option 16 hosted Junior FLL competition, which was basically twice as large as last year's with over 40 teams. And I got to be a mystery reader in Miss Bailey's TK class. All of these school events help to provide perspective for the work we do as board members. Also, I managed to carve out some time for a scheduled visit with Principal Ward at Tierra Bonita Elementary School, where we discussed site goals and deep dives, partnerships with parent organizations, and she gave me a very brief tour of the school. Brief because it was the 100-day celebration and it was a minimum day, so things were a little bit crazy. On the governance side, I attended and participated in 2 of the interest-based problem-solving training sessions, and I'm hopeful that the district and our bargaining units will make the best of this process going forward. I attended the regular monthly CSBA Delegate Assembly meeting where we heard a presentation on the Schools and Community First initiative that might show up on the November ballot, as well as discussing the revised CSBA advocacy platform, which we'll be advocating for during Legislative Action Day coming up in March. I also attended an esports presentation where I learned more about student opportunities through competitive gaming with the NASEF, which is North American Scholastic Esports Federation. I wasn't really keen on esports before, but boy, that presentation turned me around. I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to come out of it. Out in the district, I attended the SWAC meeting where Cindy Hicks presented on the latest California Healthy Kids survey, was able to judge an American Association of University Women's Speech contest, and I participated in the annual Interfaith Harmony Breakfast. All of this on top of a dozen or so informational presentations on Measure P. Really, it's been a very eventful month. So with that, I'd like everyone out there to show your love for PUSD by finalizing your comments, suggestions, ideas in thought exchange, and it even might be tough love, that's okay. By tomorrow, Valentine's Day. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Ms. Beatty.
Nothing to report.
Ms. Couvret.
I guess I get to take Miss Beatty's time too, so I'll be here for a while. I wanted to say congratulations to all the sports teams going on to CIF. I know we have water polo bright and early Saturday morning, and I know with basketball there's going to be some really good sports going on. I joined everyone at the Constitutional Challenge, and I have to say I think they set a record in the lightning round. Was it 24 questions or 22? Freaking amazing. And so that was awesome. So anyway, I love to be part of history making on that one. Love the Garden Road Reading Room. And what's exciting about this is they got a $17,000 grant to make that happen. So we have to really, really look outside the box and try to take opportunity of all these other grants that are available for our schools and these exciting new programs. Let's see here. Sorry, I put my glasses on. I can't read it. So went to a bunch of different bond type of meetings, which was always fun. I really enjoyed, I joined Dave Guzman and Denise McAndrews with the adult school. We presented at Palomar Hospital. And what's really cool about the adult school is they're trying to reach out to the community and find out what does our community need and then get the classes to provide for that. So we were there about CNA, the blood taking classes, and basically, I know it's a big word, so, and basically how can we partner with the hospitals to give these kids the internships and opportunities. And what was interesting is Palomar was so excited about it, they approached Mr. Guzman about having like an ESL classes there or having leadership classes there. So not only can they benefit our program by giving us facility usage, but then we can benefit them by helping to educate their staff and helping them grow as employees. So that was a fabulous opportunity that I was very fortunate to attend. Then three of us went to the Music Man, and I'm so glad we get along. Because if you know the Music Man, the school board did not get along there, and they had to sing. And you do not want me to sing. So just had to point out that Music Man, that it was wonderful. The talent of those people and the stage sets blew me away. I had to keep realizing these are high school kids. It was phenomenal. And then actually last night I went to the cyberbullying workshop over at Westview, which it was really fantastic, and it's really scary because the predators that are out there are so slick and sly and so far ahead of us as we try to keep up and provide safety for our kids. An interesting stat is 300 hours of data is uploaded to YouTube every minute. So that is the kind of information that is out there for our kids. And we've got to hear about a lingo of, parent over shoulder and all this stuff to be looking for these little symbols on your kids' phones. But it was wonderful. The presenter was fabulous and provided great information. And I hope that we can get even larger attendance for our parents because this is information that we really need to share with our kids. And that's about it. But I'd say it was a big month.
Thank you. I think everybody's mentioned almost everything. We were at a lot of the same things this month, but that Mesa Verde Constitutional Challenge was amazing. Yep. Absolutely. I, too, was a mystery reader at Rolling Hills, and I thought it was Miss Barney, but Miss Barney's TK class, yep. I got to read Green Eggs and Ham. It's my specialty. That's what I do. I'm a one-trick pony on that one. But we did, as a board, have a special meeting on the Jewel lawsuit that we decided to join, and you saw that press release. I think it's important for our community to know the details there, that we've seen that 1,000% increase in tobacco infractions on our campuses. I really hope we can get some of that. The money's not enough, but we've put a lot of time and effort into educating our children and policing our campuses to try to make sure that's not happening. And if we can recoup some of those costs, that would be great. Ability Awareness Day at Adobe Bluffs Elementary has been one of my passion projects for the past 8 years. I have a 5th grader, though. This is my last year there officially chairing the event, and we had a great year. I should have worn our T-shirt. I love it. Hashtag inclusion matters, hashtag ability awareness, hashtag we are all Aztecs. And I think I've thrown that out on my Twitter account, hashtag we are all PUSD. I think the message there was fabulous for our kids. I'm confident that this event will continue on and keep expanding really in some form to additional schools across our district. I know that our TOSA for our specialized academic instruction, Megan Gross, was already starting to push out some of the ideas on the reading list from that day to other campuses. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really confident that it'll keep going, and it's a great thing for our kids. IBPS training covered, check. I saw our students in action a lot. Mamma Mia at Del Norte was so much fun, dancing in the aisles. It was great. Music Man at Poway High. The day's not over. Stick around after. I'll have everybody singing, I promise. Kiss Me Kate, my daughter and my parents are at Kiss Me Kate tonight at Westview. I guess I'm going to have to find a date and go tomorrow by myself on Valentine's Day. But can't wait to see it. And I did want to add, because it's not on our master calendar, Schoolhouse Rock Junior being put on by Mesa Verde Middle School. So can't wait to see that one either in May. The Garden Road grand opening, fabulous event too. We got a taste of the Adobe Bluffs Elementary School's Lunar New Year. We had 10 times that number of performances by their students. It was really amazing. We're doing a lot there, and a lot of that's made possible by our partners at San Diego State University, who are really helping us with a lot of the pretty much everything. They're helping us with everything, staffing and the materials. Yeah, it's a linguistic and cultural education happening in Poway Unified that I hope we'll be able to expand in more languages and more schools over time. Our Measure P presentations, we've all done a lot of those. I did want to throw out a special thanks to the Peñasquitos Town Council for giving Dr. Patel and I an opportunity there to present and answer questions about the bond measure, and they let us go before all the awards they were giving out to kids. So we had a large audience that otherwise I'm sure would have fled the room as soon as we stepped up. So that was great. Thank you to them. Esports, yeah, I'm not sure I'm quite as sold on esports, but more than I was before. So that was a good presentation. The CAC, I was there at their meeting this week with Mr. Mizell and pretty much all of the directors in the special education department. This is our parent group, our community advisory committee in special education. A lot of parents, also staff, but the leadership this group is showing in working with our PUSD staff to update the district website under special education and really to make it a lot more user-friendly, really good work, and putting new information up that I think our parents are really looking for. I think this group is very focused on the customer service aspect, and it was great. A special shout out to the chair of the CAC, Rosabelle Agbayani, and also to Associate Superintendent Mizell, all the special education directors for their hard work. That group obviously is working well with you, and that's hard, great work. SAI, hard, great work. I can't wait. I keep pounding on this one, but it's so important that we keep expanding to more schools and expanding the groups to more students. I'm excited about the work. I can't wait to have it keep moving forward. I can't wait. Go, go, go. And I'll wrap up with please log into Thought Exchange. Please give us your input, anything having to do with PUSD. It's important for our local control accountability plan. Tomorrow's the last day. High school students, you have your very own special login. Get in there. And March 3rd is Election Day. Please vote. The end.
All right. Thank you, Madam President. We have many
I'm
recognitions.
going to start timing you right now. Hurry, go.
We have many recognitions of note to present to the board this evening, and I plan to read all of them. Please look at the board packet for the full description in 12.2. I encourage you to read them, but in the interest of time, I'd like to highlight a couple. Black Mountain Middle School was revalidated as an AVID national demonstration site for another 3 years. Black Mountain is the only site in Poway Unified to be named as a national demonstration site and one of only 4 schools in the entire county. We had some top-notch middle and high school student musicians selected for California All-State Honors Ensembles. The list of names is in the agenda, and if you'd like me to read them, I'm happy to do that. Congratulations to all, and several of our staff members were recognized by the California Music Educators Association for their exceptional work in music education. Mount Carmel special education teacher Lisa Chahani was named the 2020 Turnaround Teacher by San Diego County Office of Education at their inaugural Equity Lighthouse Awards. Congratulations. This month, our Studio 701 student interns focused their Excellence in Education episode on our recent collaboration between the CTE department and film industry pros called Smartphone Studio to teach elementary and middle school students to be future filmmakers. Please watch.
Elementary and middle school students from across Poway Unified got to experience Balboa Park as their classroom for the day, as they worked together to create high-quality films, all using iPhones.
Well, like you could show people your videos and like communicate through videos.
We run a workshop called We Make Movies Smartphone Studio, and this is teaching people that they can make a movie no matter what their budget is.
You're gonna lock the till?
For me, seeing everyone get together, elementary, middle school, high school, and seeing people getting together and authentically creating things together is how the world gets better.
The 2-day workshop was the result of the Poway Unified Career Technical Education Program, collaborating with Apple and We Make Movies to teach students about the fundamentals of mobile filmmaking, and along with that, many additional skills to prepare students for college, career, and life.
Video production is a great way for them to incorporate the skills that they're learning in all of their classes. Critical thinking, creative thought, also organization, time management, being able to communicate with others. The more years I've taught video, the more things I realize that there's crossover into other areas of life.
We hope that with early exposure in the elementary and middle school, students are making informed choices so that they know day one when they step onto a high school campus, a pathway is right for them.
As technology advances, students of all ages have increased access to storytelling with so many movie-making tools available to them.
Remember how to label your
What I like about film is that I get to express myself.
It's probably not that long here to do this. It's wonderful to go from station to station and see all these young people just in a few hours filming and creating their own movie.
We use this little stuffed animal and then we put it in this tree and then we pretended that it was a real animal and then it was stuck in the tree.
From filming to editing, the students were able to work alongside industry professionals to hone their skills and take back what they learned to their own schools.
To see them take so much pride in their work has just been amazing.
I want the students to learn how to create and edit the videos themselves, and it's using technology, and it's something that they can use their creativity in creating things that they're interested in.
The workshop culminated with a screening for parents and the RBHS Performing Arts Center.
I saw a lot of really impressive work product in there, thing that I had 20, 30 years ago, so I'm really impressed with that.
The program has helped launch a new generation of filmmakers, from Chicago to New Mexico and now here in San Diego. For the Excellence in Education series, I'm Gabe Tolo, Studio 701.
I love the work that our Studio 701 students, interns do on the Excellence in Education. I love how they really show the inside of all the great work that we're doing in Poway Unified. So I just love it. This month, we celebrate Black History Month. Many of our schools and student groups, including our student board member, Mariana, are holding unique events to share a greater understanding of the significance of African-American achievements in U.S. history. In addition, our district's social media and websites have been sharing educational posts to highlight and celebrate African Americans. I was privileged to celebrate Lunar New Year at Adobe Bluffs Elementary School, where all of the student performances were done in Mandarin. You saw some of them this evening perform earlier. I love the global focus of their learning, and we had several dignitaries attend this event, including Councilman Chris Cate, Supervisor Gaspar's office, who declared February 6th as Adobe Bluff Elementary Lunar New Year Celebration Day in the city of San Diego. Last week was National Schools Counselors Week. Every day, our counselors provide our students with academic, college, career, and social and emotional support and development. They play a critical role in the success of our schools and our students' success. So please take some time to thank our school counselors for their work. I want to thank and commend Associate Superintendent Little, Director Koster, Assistant Director Alsbach, and their team on the completion of the Long Range Facilities Master Plan. This was an enormous undertaking, but was so necessary. My sincere appreciation to everyone on this dais, staff in every department, and every school site for their participation. At our next meeting, we will know the outcome of the March 3rd election and whether Measure P passes. If it does, I look forward to seeing the priorities identified in our master plan being carried out. Speaking of Measure P, we are in the last week before the election. Voters have received their mail-in ballots. I don't need to tell you how dire the need for this bond measure is. You've all seen my presentation, seen my articles. But I want to ask that everyone please do your part by getting out, getting educated, be informed, don't believe the myths. Take your time to learn about what the needs are and what the truths are. Get to know and understand school district budgets. Help educate others, get the word out, and more importantly, go out and vote. This is so important to the future of PUSD and our students' educational experiences. We want our schools to remain the pinnacle of our communities, and we want to ensure that they're continually maintained, upgraded, and in the best condition possible for our future generations. Over the past 2 weeks, our community has been providing feedback for our local control accountability plan through Thought Exchange. We are thrilled that thousands of parents, students, employees, and community members have participated. I think last year we had 9,000 people participate. Our Spanish language forum was very well attended, so great job to Director Hub Schmidt and her team. And thank you to Associate Superintendent Carol Osborne and Chief Communication Officer Christine Peck for another successful Thought Exchange. There is one more day left to participate, so after the survey period closes tomorrow, we will then compile all the top thoughts for each school, as well as the district as a whole, to share with everyone. This input will help us to decide our funding priorities and our LCAP goals moving forward. Lastly, I want to say congratulations to our Team PUSD colleagues who were recently selected and will be announced officially next week by the Association of California School Administrators, ACSA, as Administrators of the Year for Region 18, San Diego County, which also includes San Diego and the Imperial counties. They represent the best of nearly 1,400 educational leaders in our region. One of them is sitting up here on the dais, Dr. Jennifer Burks, Associate Superintendent of Technology and Innovation. She was named Technology Administrator of the Year. Dr. Burks is an outstanding administrator, an exceptional leader. Her creativity and passion, along with dedication and hard work, have brought about significant advancement of our district's educational and technology programs. Her team's efforts and initiatives have led to several national recognitions for our district in district innovation. Our other honoree is Mr. Scott Corso, Principal of Black Mountain Middle School. He was named Middle Grade Principal of the Year. Scott Corso is one of the most dynamic principals Poway Unified has ever seen. His enthusiasm, innovation, and strength in leadership have completely transformed his school's culture. Under Scott's leadership, Black Mountain Middle School has become the first No Place for Hate middle school in PUSD and was redesignated as an AVID National Demonstration School. He and his staff promote the success of all students. We are so proud of Dr. Burks and Mr. Corso. We look forward to celebrating them at the AXA Honoring Our Own dinner and the PUSD Recognition dinner. So I want to end by wishing all of you a happy Valentine's Day tomorrow and wish you an enjoyable and restful break next week with your family and friends. So enjoy our February break, and we'll see you back in school on Monday, February 24th. Thank you.
Item 14.0 is adjournment, so the next regularly scheduled board meeting will be held Thursday, March 12th, 2020, 6 p.m. right here. It is 7:50.